Hey, look, I know what it feels like when you're stuck. You wake up knowing you're capable of so much more, but something inside keeps holding you back. You want to change, you really do. But every single day feels like you're working against yourself. You're not lazy, you're not stupid, but somewhere along the way, you picked up habits that are quietly destroying your future without you even realizing it. What if I told you that the 5 things ruining your life right now can be fixed starting today? Stay with me. You're probably thinking you need some massive life overhaul, right? New gym membership, strict diet, wake up at 4 a.m., the whole thing. But here's what nobody tells you. The habits that are actually killing your potential are way simpler than that. And they're way more dangerous because you don't even see them as problems. They're hiding in plain sight. They look normal. Everyone does them. And that's exactly why they're destroying you.
In the heart of a bustling campus, where laughter and chatter filled the air, lived a young woman named Maya. She sat alone on a weathered bench beneath the sprawling branches of an ancient oak tree, its leaves whispering secrets as they danced in the gentle breeze. Maya often lost herself in the rhythm of her classes, floating through the motions of lectures and assignments, achieving decent grades, but feeling an undeniable void inside her, a yearning for something more. From the outside, her life appeared perfectly curated, but within, a storm brewed. Each day felt like a comfortable cocoon, yet she couldn't shake the nagging thought that comfort was slowly suffocating her spirit. It was a dull ache, one she masked with reassurances of future endeavors. I'll venture out next semester, she'd tell herself. I need to finish this project first. Yet deep down, she knew these were merely lies spun from fear. Fear of failure, of feeling vulnerable, of stepping outside the safe bounds of her existence. One crisp autumn morning, as sunlight filtered through the leaves, illuminating the path ahead, Maya witnessed a group of students rehearsing for a theater performance. Their laughter rang out, mingling with the scent of fresh coffee wafting from a nearby cafe. She felt a twinge of envy, an ache of longing to join them, yet the weight of insecurity held her back. What if she failed? What if she looked foolish? Maya watched as one student, a girl with bright red hair and an infectious smile, stumbled over her lines but laughed it off, shaking off embarrassment like a soft rain. It hit Maya then. Every person she admired had faced the same fears, had fallen and risen, many times in fact. They had bared their souls to the world, unfiltered and raw, often in moments of profound vulnerability. That night, curled up in her tiny dorm room, surrounded by the comforting chaos of textbooks and half-finished assignments, Maya made a decision. She would embrace discomfort. She would step into the growth zone. The thought sent shivers down her spine, a mix of fear and exhilaration. With trembling hands, she signed up for a public speaking class, a leap that felt monumental. Her voice trembled. Her hands shook, and her heart raced. But as she shared her story, vulnerability creeping in, something remarkable happened. The fear lessened. The applause echoed in her mind, soothing the raw edges of doubt. Weeks rolled into months, and as Maya continued to challenge herself, she felt her confidence blossom. Each tiny victory, a bold conversation here, a presentation there, added feathers to her wings. Yet with progress came the weight of comparison. She found herself scrolling through social media late into the night, gazing at the highlight reels of others, feeling a sense of inadequacy creep back in. Maya had to remind herself that every success story was built on countless failures, silent struggles, and resilience. They were not ahead of her. They were simply on their own journey. In a moment of clarity, she pushed her phone aside and reflected on her own growth. Just last month, she had been too afraid to voice her thoughts. Now she was speaking up, advocating for herself and others. But even as she flourished, she was aware of the noise around her. The voices that doubted and criticized, echoing in her head like an unwelcome chorus, began to drown out her own inner voice. "You'll never make it," they whispered. "Who do you think you are?" Determined not to be swallowed by this negativity, she took a stand. She created a protective barrier around her peace, choosing to engage only with those who uplifted her spirit. Conversations shifted from mundane small talk to profound exchanges that ignited her creativity. She learned to block out distractions, to value her energy fiercely. Maya's journey was not a linear path. It was a series of ups and downs, but she realized that embracing the process was where the magic lay. One night, as she lay in bed, reflecting on her transformation, she smiled at the woman she had become, someone who kept promises, someone who leaned into discomfort, and someone who fiercely protected her peace. With renewed vigor, she decided to share her journey publicly, inviting others to join her. "Let's break one habit together," she wrote on her social media. "Let's commit to becoming a better version of ourselves, one day at a time." And just like that, she transformed her experience into a movement, drawing in those who had been quietly struggling, encouraging them to step out of their comfort zones and embrace their own growth journeys. Maya knew now that the road ahead would still present challenges, but she felt equipped to face them. As she watched the sun rise the next morning, she breathed in deeply, the crisp air filling her lungs, reminding her that the pain of staying the same would always hurt more than the pain of growth. In the heart of a bustling city, a young woman named Emily sat on her bed, the glow of her phone illuminating her face. The muted sounds of the outside world seeped in through her window, but her focus was entirely on the screen in front of her. TikTok dances and YouTube vlogs intertwined in a dizzying cascade of content, each second pulling her deeper into a world that wasn't her own. As she scrolled endlessly, a quiet realization began to gnaw at her. A feeling that this time spent was not enriching her, but instead was stealing precious moments of her life. Emily's fingers froze mid-scroll as a thought sank in. What am I doing with all this information? Her brain, once vibrant and eager, felt like a sponge drenched in water, full, but unable to contribute anything back to the world. For 40 minutes, she had consumed the lives and ideas of others, yet had created nothing of her own. The weight of this revelation pressed down on her chest, mixing with a pang of longing for something more. She thought of the heroes she admired, the writers, the artists, the innovators. None had reached their heights by merely absorbing content. They had dared to create, to mold their thoughts into something tangible, despite the fear that clung to their dreams. In that moment, Emily felt a flicker of determination ignite within her. What if I became a creator today? She pondered, her heart racing at the prospect. With a deep breath, she picked up a pen and a blank notebook that had sat untouched on her desk for weeks. Her hand trembled as she began to write, not searching for perfection, but simply allowing her thoughts to flow. Each word felt like a release, a reclaiming of ownership over her mind. As she scribbled about her dreams and what truly mattered to her, she discovered a sense of purpose that had long been buried beneath layers of distraction. This was only the beginning. The next day she awoke with the dawn, a soft light spilling into her room. Instead of reaching for her phone, she took a moment to breathe, to center herself. What are the 3 things that matter most to me today? She whispered into the quiet. She wrote them down: creativity, connection, and growth. The temptation to check her notifications was strong, but she resisted, fiercely guarding her intention. With every passing hour, she felt a sense of control wash over her, a stark contrast to the chaos of her previous days. The world outside her window continued to buzz, but Emily was no longer a passive participant. She was building her future, one small decision at a time. As the sun set, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, Emily stood at the window, looking out over the city. She had once felt trapped within. Now she was filled with hope and determination, knowing that she was no longer just a consumer of life, but a creator of her own story. Every step she took was a step toward becoming the person she had always wanted to be. In that moment, she understood the immense power of intention and creation, and she felt alive, truly alive, for the first time in a long while.